A couple things to go over here today. Not too much in the end, but a couple things to talk about. The first thing being, not that. The first thing being, let's go ahead and talk about this. We got the Pro Dota Cup, of course, continuing on. Both they have the European and the American regions. The European region that we're going to start with here, again, that $5,000 prize pool has been progressing. They are currently in the quarterfinals as well as the losers round 2 matches to take place. You see a couple of results here. Danish Bears defeating 8,000 and Horde taking out Sanguine Sharks 2-1 as well. So it'll be Horde versus Danish Bears. Of course, Danish Bears is a former Imperial team, now known back as Danish Bears, and apparently they're going to be picked up by another organization. Rumor that it's Cloud9. We've talked about this already, but nothing official just yet. Maybe they're waiting for the new year or something. I don't know. Anyways, on the top side, we have Rebels versus All happening right now, actually. Now, unfortunate situation here. Solid Dudes obviously was this team previously. You see they beat IKEA. We cast that match even. Of course, Solid Dudes, a roster of players that I'm very familiar with, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they continue to do and everything. And Sandia, Mika, and crew. I was told yesterday that they actually did disband, unfortunately. So, Solid Dude's no longer a team. It sucks. It was shitty to hear. But Solid Dude's no longer a team. Hopefully, people like Insanity and Mickey specifically able to find another team and can start following that said team then. But no longer a team. They disbanded. I don't know exactly why. I guess just one of the players just wasn't having enough time to play, and they weren't too happy with the results. I don't know. In the end, they disbanded, so this AW team actually replaced them, and it looks like Rebels is having a fairly good time against them so far, already winning a 22-minute match initially. So don't know too much about this AW team. Looking at the roster, yeah, can't say I recognize any of the names. Again, I'm newer to the scene, but I don't think those are the most noticeable players. Anyways, point is, expect Rebels to win there, but then we still have Friends versus Evil Corporation to come. Evil Corporation is still another team with former Haunt Trash players, of course, so excited to see how they do. They're going to be playing in a later match. That should be a good series. We'll keep an eye on that, but I don't want to do any casts today, guys. I want to focus on getting ranked. So, anyways, that's an update there on the Pro Dota European region. Let's take a look at the American region. The group stages officially wrapped up last night. I was actually casting it. Not today from Group A, and Infamous Black from Group B, the teams that actually ended up finishing last place. Funny enough, not really too funny, honestly, but interesting enough, both of those teams actually forfeited their last matches, pretty much knowing that they were not going to be moving on in the end. So, it's kind of shitty, but that will happen with group stages. Teams if there's essentially nothing to play for, then they're not going to really bother. That's why I'm a fan, honestly, if you're going to have a tournament like this. Maybe possibly looking to implement some kind of bounty system in the group stages, even if it's something simple like $50 for a win. Like, even that should be enough for a team like Not Today to be like, you know what, let's just show up and play just for a chance to make $20 each. I mean, why the hell not, right? So I think the idea of a bounty system in group stages is always something that could be valuable, but anyways, that's a discussion for another time. We do have the 4 teams moving on from each group. You see our matchups here. Some fun matchups, actually. Now, again, I've been doing the official casting for this tournament. Unfortunately, with the holidays coming in and everything, though, and my schedule, I'm not going to necessarily be able to cast the most of these playoffs here. It really sucks. It really does. I was looking forward, actually, to casting a lot of this tournament, but it just wasn't going to work out. So, but you do have some matchups here going over there. Infamous versus Doo-Wop. Really a good matchup there. I mean, a little surprised that Doo-Wop finishing 4th over here in Group B. Obviously, a very solid team with their roster right there, but Infamous on the other side, they're looking really good. I mean, obviously their 7-1 record reflects that too, but I gotta say, as casting pretty much all these teams here, Infamous and Team Freedom are looking like on another level even. And I know it's easy to say now that they finished first place, but I've been saying that since really that we started this tournament here in their first matches I casted at both of them. So Infamous versus Doo-Wop, Freedom versus Boar, SG Esports versus Hard Question, and FDL versus End. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this plays out. I will be able to cast a couple of these matches here throughout these playoffs, but again, majority of them, unfortunately, I will not be able to make, including the finals even. It's just the days just are not going to work for me. So, but I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this, and we'll be keeping updated in terms of how it plays out. As far as another event that is currently going on, I mentioned this yesterday, continuing to update here, the Well Play Invitational, another $5,000 tournament. Alliance did come back to defeat Danish Bears 2-1, and they are in the finals as a result. So that's got to feel good for Alliance. Yeah, when we were looking at this yesterday, we saw that Game 1 went to Danish Bears. But Alliance comes back, and, Alliance, frankly, has been a little bit disappointing with this roster. Considering what the history of this organization and how really top tier they've been, they haven't necessarily they've been having some shaky results. Not that it's been very disappointing results, but it's been some shaky results here and there. In the end, though, even though it's only a $5,000 tournament, if they end up winning this tournament, I think that could be a kind of a big boost to their confidence, if anything. Right now, Liquid and Empire playing, and currently Liquid is up 1-0 there in that series with Game 2 set to come. So, looking forward to seeing how that one finishes off and which team Alliance is going to be playing. And are these finals? Okay, they're not scheduled yet, but wouldn't be surprised if they happen tomorrow if the teams are able to work that out. So that's an update there on the Well Played Invitational. And then we have one more event here, the Starlighter Pro Series Season 17, currently going on. Another minor prize pool tournament. This one, $2,500 prize pool. But you got a lot of these 2-2, 2-3 teams even. Again, looks like Question Mark did take out Solid Dudes. Okay, it was a forfeit victory. Yeah, as mentioned, Solid Dudes unfortunately thrown in the towel, and they are no longer a team. So, but you see how this one's moving on. Dubai versus Tarantula, and then Question Mark versus 8,000. Frankly, this is more of like the CIS region, it looks like. So, not too much knowledge on these teams right here, but again, just worth an update at the very least. See which teams take it all, and again, a way to start making a name for themselves, if anything. So, those are kind of updates on the tournaments right there. Again, the one piece of news, like I said, Solid Dudes disbanding is really the only piece of news that I was able to find. Other than that, Reddit's still in an uproar about the UI. Still want some more changes to happen. I can't say I disagree with them. I mean, I'm sure Valve has the reasons for doing certain things with the HUD and the UI, but it's just kind of funny seeing all these posts like, all right, we need this change now. And they have been changing things obviously quite a bit. Has Valve? They've been responding actually to the community quite a bit, which is good to see. But there comes a point it's like, you gotta stand strong with your decisions. Like, you had to have made your decisions for a reason in the first place, right? Like, you're this multi-billion-dollar company, one of the most successful games ever. I would like to believe that you made certain decisions for a reason in the first place. So that's going to be interesting to see, how that continues to go. But hey, I don't really care about that too much in the end. It's just kind of funny to follow someone. Oh, and then yesterday also one more thing. It was officially announced, and I'll put it up right here in the Reddit post. It kind of helps give a good or a good look at it here. The Spring Shuffle 2017, the roster lock information was officially announced yesterday for the Spring Major. The teams have till December 27th to drop their players at midnight, and then they have till January something, I thought I remember seeing, before they have to announce their actual new roster, and they have to lock in with their new roster. So, you see this post right here. It's actually having some updates here. Obviously, most of these are already situations that we've been very aware of for the most part. But it's going to be interesting to see how things kind of shape up. I know Na'Vi announced recently that they're going to be announcing their new team. So many teams. Fnatic has to announce a new roster. There's so many of these organizations that are going to be announcing new teams, I'm sure, and switching players perhaps. Now, looks like these rosters right here have officially announced that they are keeping their rosters. You got Complexity Gaming, Team NP, no surprise there, honestly. Team Spirit and Vega Squadron from the CIS region, and then you got Execration and TNC Pro Team all announcing their official rosters right here. So, still a lot more to come, and again, it's going to be interesting to see if any more changes do happen throughout. And then also, True Side Episode 3 is going to be happening on Thursday. That was one more thing that I do remember seeing as far as announcements go. So, there you go, guys, the daily recap. Wrapping up here on what is December 20th, 2016. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Once again, I'm BreakyCPK. Until next time, have a good night. I'll see you on the next daily recap, guys.